Dance. Can't wait to talk about these pay-per-views that I watched like 4 weeks ago.
Yeah, like a month ago. Yeah. So, hello, welcome to our review of AEW New Japan Stardom CMLL Forbidden Door 2024. It's been about a month since we watched them, and yes, things have happened, and I've been busy, and Callum's been busy, and Regan's been busy, and just things have happened, but that's okay. Just wanted to get them out of the way, this review and Money in the Bank, before we do predictions for SummerSlam next week. Might as well. I was considering skipping it, but you know what? Let's just have a video and see where it goes.
Let's just see how it goes.
Initial thoughts. I enjoyed the show, and there was, if I remember correctly, it's been so long. There was some matches on Forbidden Door that I really enjoyed. A few that I thought didn't live up to expectations, but overall it was a positive show. Good stuff. Happy for the most part.
Yeah, that's pretty much my assessment. I think the show overall was very positive. There were some really good matches on it from memory. Couple that I thought could have been better, or maybe longer, or better paced. But overall, I think it was a very decent show that I think delivered a lot of good wrestling graps.
For me, the most newsworthy things, though, about AEW is everything that's happened after this show. That's been the talking point.
Yeah, that's kind of been the hot topic of discussion.
Yeah, because Stephanie Vaquer has signed with WWE literally days after this show. Cannot believe that. That was crazy. Will Ospreay and MJF on Dynamite had one of my favorite matches I've ever seen. I loved it, start to end.
Because you're a nerd for extremely long matches with no story.
It was, if it had been 2 seconds longer, it wouldn't have been as good as it is. That's my take on it. No, I loved that match. We've had a bunch of things like Blood and Guts was this week. I haven't watched it, but I heard it was pretty crazy. Mariah May turned on Toni Storm and won the Owen, so they're facing off at Wembley. That's a big deal. Yeah, there's a lot of stuff coming out of this show that has been newsworthy. But the show itself was, for the most part, a good time.
Yeah.
I'd
agree.
There were 15 matches. Only one shy of... only one shy of...
It's an AEW card, so...
Only one shy of... Only one less match than WrestleMania 4. Crazy. And that show's 3 hours. This is 5 hours, if not more. Anyway, Kyle Fletcher had a match with Serpentico. It was 3 minutes. It was fine. Good stuff. Nice squash. Kings of the Black Throne beat Tomohiro Ishii, Kyle O'Reilly, Roderick Strong, Gabe Kidd, and Private Party. Gabe Kidd was fun. All the Undisputed guys were great. And the dark characters won, and it was enjoyable. Enjoyable mess.
Yeah, I'd agree.
Yeah.
Always good to see Gabe kick on TV in quotes.
Yes. Yeah. I want to see him like have beef with. I want to see him like beef with MJF. That would be fun. Like if Forbidden Door. Oh shit! You're frozen. Love it when he freezes right when he's about to say something good.
Hello.
You're back now.
Yeah, I was just saying it's always good to see Gabe kick on TV in quotes. I will say.
Yeah. Yes.
He's always a fun time.
I'd love to see him have a feud with MJF at some point. That'd be funny.
Yeah, that would be good.
Maybe like Forbidden Door 2025, they can have a match.
Yeah.
I assume he'll still be in New Japan then. I'm not sure how long his contract is, but He seems to be like on the rise. I don't think it's even then 1 year's time. I still don't think he'll be ready for a big contract in America. But stranger things have happened. Willa Nightingale and Tam Nakano defeated Statlander and Watanabe. I don't remember much from this match, to be honest. What do you remember?
Not a whole lot, really, to be quite frank. Especially the early matches. I don't remember a whole lot from.
I do remember it, like, it kind of played out exactly as I thought. Like, it's Joshi and power wrestling in the same match. I do think, if I'm not mistaken, I believe this match was a little bit of a mess. At points. But yeah, whatever. And then we had Mariah May beat Saraya in the Owen Hart tournament. Correct choice. And it's led to big things on Dynamite since. Thumbs up. Mariah and Toni Storm are always great.
Yep, obviously. Oh, they're always great. They're great entertainment.
Yes. And then the main event of the pre-show was Lucha Brothers and Mystico versus LIJ, which was a fun, crazy, high-flying Japanese versus Mexican style match from memory.
Yeah. Yeah, that's what I remember from it.
Yep. Cool. That's the pre-show. Now let's talk about the main card. Done. MJF versus Hechicero was very fun. I really enjoyed this a lot.
Quite fun.
Yep.
Definitely quite fun.
For a match where, like, neither of these guys are in, like, the same world in their career. They're so different and they're from such different places. Like, it's a really odd match. But the crowd really got into this. Hechicero was very unpopular, which was funny to see. Interestingly, MJF turned heel after this pay-per-view. So,
yeah, not soon after, about like 2-3 weeks later.
Yeah, but he was very over on this show. I believe...
Yeah. Well, it being from Long Island.
Yeah, it was in Long Island, so Hometown Boy came in, won his match. Yeah, this was entertaining. Very entertaining. MJF made this fun. Hechicero actually did a pretty good job of playing the heel in this match. He mocked MJF. Yeah, it was a good time. MJF on Forbidden Door. Forbidden Door with MJF is always fun because he hates like foreign companies, and he last year with Tanahashi, it's just hilarious. But yeah. Good stuff, had fun. Then we had the Elite versus the Acclaimed and Tanahashi. The right team won. Okada and Tanahashi facing off was probably my favorite thing about the match, and the fact that, like you predicted, Okada pinned Tanahashi was the right choice.
Yeah. That's absolutely the right choice, really.
I mean, Okada's just one of the best characters in AEW right now. He's so entertaining. Just an absolute asshole. I love him. So yeah, thumbs up on that. Then we had Bryan Danielson versus Shingo Takagi. Very fun match. Very sort of grappler.
Really liked the finish.
Yes.
Finish's match was really fucking good.
Yeah, the finish was great. Grappler style match. A lot of dangerous spots. Like Bryan Danielson, as always, convincing you he's going to die in the ring. And yeah, both these guys were... Yeah, this was, I think, the first like seriously good match on the show. When I was like, yeah, this is good shit.
Yeah, this is my wrestling.
Yeah. And Bryan Danielson won the Owen tournament, so he's going to be facing Swerve at Wembley.
Yeah. Him. It was. I generally thought it would be Hangman who would win the tournament, and I think he wasn't announced for the tournament he was announced on like Dynamite. He came out against Jeff Jarrett. Was that after Forbidden Door, I believe, or was it before? Can't remember, but that was the right choice. After. Yeah.
Yeah. And also, I'm happy because Shingo hasn't got this kind of opportunity on Forbidden Door yet. So finally, he got a big singles match.
Yeah,
he's a very cool guy. He has a lot of charisma. Yeah, at least New Japan has some stars left after they've been basically purged. But yeah, I enjoyed this.
Place.
And then we got Timeless Toni Storm versus Mina Shirakawa with Mariah in the middle. This was a fairy tale ending. This actually ended with a happy ending, and all three of them went away and had a big threesome.
Yeah, probably.
But the delight of the ending on this match did not last because Mariah ended up turning on Toni Storm after she won the Owen. So it was bittersweet. I'm loving what they're doing with the storyline. It's been built up over the last sort of 6 to 7 months, maybe a bit more. And it's slowly just evolved over time, and it's going to all culminate at Wembley. I'm very happy.
You know, it's a very, very well built turn, and it's a really great turn for Tony because the gimmick's been so well received, and it being turned into now actually like a babyface role is quite fun.
And also,
I think Mariah May is just the performance of her for the whole story has been just so good.
She's amazing,
and that's one of the matches I think a lot of people are looking forward to just because it's just pure story.
I think
it's what I think it's this year's version of MGF Adam Cole, where the story is like so well built up to for the match, and you're just looking forward to seeing what the outcome is.
I think,
and hopefully the match also being very good.
I think Mariah May has had one of the best rookie years in American wrestling in recent years. I think she's been fantastic. We're not even we're halfway. She's still she started. Her first AEW match was on the first Dynamite in January. She's still very new, but they're if she beats Toni Storm at Wembley, they've made a megastar.
Absolutely.
That which I think she will. Which is something that people criticize Tony Khan for. They say he doesn't make stars, but he absolutely has with this. He's not only revitalized, and Toni Storm is having the best run of her career, but he's also used that to make a star out of Mariah May.
Yeah, definitely. 100% agree.
And sort of closing thoughts on the match, I thought Mina Shirakawa was great. She's very entertaining. Very good with the crowd.
That's the first time I've ever seen her wrestle ever, and she's insanely fun.
Yeah. Very, very charming.
Yeah, definitely.
I mean, everyone involved in this match is very funny, and that helps. Oh
yeah, definitely. They all got the same sort of way of doing comedy, which is just very.
I loved on Mariah's heel turn, she threw Luther off the stage through a table. It was fucking hilarious.
What a bump! Fucking hell.
Yeah, but you can tell he's he's really invested in the story, and
they've all put a lot of really good hard work into this. Whole program,
and I'm really happy for him because he got lumped with Brandy Rhodes in early AEW, and it was a really big negative mark on his career.
Yeah, very strange times.
Yeah, but good stuff. Very happy. Very satisfied with what they did with this women's match.
Absolutely.
And then after that, we had Zack Sabre Jr. versus Orange Cassidy, another very entertaining match. And Sabre, the smug prick, got his win over Cassidy by submission. Another match, I think, that had a really strong finish as well. Like you said before with Danielson and Shingo. And nice to see Zack finally get a big win in AEW as well, which he hasn't had yet.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, but it's very surprising that we'll talk about it in a sec with a certain title match later. Very surprised that seemingly he won't be. I don't know if there are any rumors on it that he won't be on the All In card.
I mean, he might be just in a different role.
Yeah. We are only 3 weeks away from it, so...
I mean, technically, it depends on what New Japan want to do, but they could have him face Naito at Wembley, or they could have him win the G1 and face him at Wrestle Kingdom.
Yeah.
But I do agree that Zack is primed for world title now. He's ready for it.
Yeah. It's been around for a long time.
Yeah. I know that he doesn't have the best physique on the roster, but I still think
But
he's
that's what
worthy.
makes him so unique with how good at wrestling he is.
Yeah, that's true.
Like he's just insanely fucking good as a wrestler.
Yeah, he's perfect. And Orange Cassidy, to his credit, he matched Zach in the ring in this match, which I was very happy with.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. Then we had Samoa Joe, Hook, and Shibata versus the Learning Tree. Whatever.
Yeah.
I mean, it was funny.
Nothing
it was funny.
much.
There was some funny stuff, but don't care. Like, okay, Joe. What I will say is Joe, Hook, and Shibata's comedic trio is fun, and them bullying Jericho has some appeal to it.
Yeah.
But still.
But I don't want to see it on pay-per-view.
I cannot tell you the absolute sinking of passion that immediately after that MJF Ospreay match, they went straight to the Learning Tree segment, and it was like I immediately just switched it off. I was like, I'm done. I'm done with Dynamite.
Thankfully,
no interest.
That was the first half of the show. But yeah.
Yeah. I was over that, yeah. But yeah, whatever. Don't care. And then after that, okay, I'm happy to talk about this though. We got the ladder match for the TNT Championship. Jack Perry, Takeshita, Briscoe, Martin, Rush, and El Phantasmo. I fucking love this so much. This was
such a train wreck in a
it was an absolute clusterfuck, and it looked like Takeshita absolutely murdered El Phantasmo when he did a blue thunderbomb through the table.
Sorry, Sami Zayn, but that is one of the best blue thunderbombs I've ever seen.
Takeshita is an absolute boss.
Yeah. It did kind of just make me want him to just win it.
Yeah,
because he was just like I feel like I think we said this in the on the predictions stream, how he kind of needs to have a title at some point because he can have great matches, but I kind of want him just to to be a champion, have a really good run with this version of Takeshita. I think this is they need to put the belt on him at some point.
It's only a matter of time before Tony Khan books Takeshita versus Okada. That would be crazy. I mean, they're both heel right now, but in the future.
Yeah. Oh yeah, next year or so. I'd say within the next year they would definitely do that. I think it'd be crazy not to.
Like, Takeshita gets heat when he's with Don Callis, but in the ring he's irresistible. Everything about him is great. Mark Briscoe was fun. Dante Martin and Leo Rush were insanely crazy. El Phantasmo looks like Logan Paul. Like, it's crazy how much he looks like Logan Paul. They have the same gear and the same hairstyle. And they're both very, very athletic. And then, of course, the scapegoat Jack Perry won, as we predicted. I thought this match was class. I loved it. It was one of my favorites on the show.
So fun.
So much fun. Then we had Mercedes Moné versus Stephanie Vaquer. This match was a massive surprise to a lot of people how much Vaquer stole the show. She really outperformed in this, I think, and it's probably why she got signed by WWE immediately after the match. This was
very, very, very strange, really, actually.
Yeah, like, it was
very, very strange.
In ring, there was a lot to like about this match, I think, but in terms of the story, it actually went very differently to how I expected. Because Mercedes is already turned heel and she's already against the crowd anyway. But at the same time, it was only exacerbated even more by the fact that Stephanie Vaquer got over.
Yeah.
Very, very quickly. So yeah, it's a very fascinating scenario, actually. Because the one that got over is not signing with the company.
Yeah. But it seems like she was always gonna choose the Fed, I think, from how she's talked about it in the past. Especially going to NXT, I think it's probably very likely.
I think Mercedes is a great wrestler, as I said many times before, but there's one thing I want her to do. I understand with this because it's different. It's as someone who's not on your roster, so it's going to be more strained. But Mercedes Moné needs to get in the practice ring with all of the women in AEW and practice her finishing move with them. Because when she hits that move right, it looks good. But she has to. Her and her opponent have to time it right. That's the biggest issue. So that's my one thing is please assemble your women's roster and practice that move, so that they all know like how to time it right.
Wouldn't hurt.
Yeah. But yeah, apart from that, I enjoyed this match and I was fascinated by the energy of it and the story. I thought it was very, very peculiar. And now Mercedes Moné is a double champion, and everyone thinks she's Hollywood Hogan, which is just bullshit. She's got creative control. It's toxic.
Yeah. Very funny, though.
Yeah.
This match was good.
Yeah, and also very good presentation. They both had very strong entrances as well.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think they probably wouldn't do it as much if they knew she was going to the Fed, but hey, oh.
Now, unfortunately, we have to talk about the most disappointing match on this card. Now, obviously, not including like the nonsense pre-show ones we don't care about, or like the Jericho match which we didn't care about. Like, the reason why I say disappointing is that unlike those matches, I thought this was going to be amazing, Naito versus Moxley, and unfortunately, I think it didn't live up to it. I think they didn't have chemistry in this match. I think they had better chemistry in maybe the other matches in New Japan. But for some reason, something wasn't working. I think Naito might be a bit banged up as well, because his movement seems a little off. Not to say it was terrible. It wasn't like a stinker, but I definitely think this match did not live up to what I expected of it. And the finish completely took me by surprise. I did not expect Naito to beat Moxley clean. But there you are.
Very surprising that they've decided to go this route. Really.
Yeah. And there was a few clunky moments.
Just personally feel like it's a massively missed opportunity not to have the belt at All In, if that's going to be the case.
Yeah. I mean, they'll
feels like a
definitely
great
have
opportunity for them to put them on a big stage that outside of Japan. But yeah, it's
I mean, they made an announcement on this show that the day after Wrestle Kingdom, they're doing another Forbidden Door style show in Japan.
Yeah, they are.
I can't remember what it's called. Is it called like something Dream? It's not Wrestle Dream, but it's something else.
Isn't it like Dynasty? Something Dynasty.
Wrestle Dynasty, that's it.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah. Not to be confused with AEW Dynasty.
No.
Yeah. But yeah, this match was a bit clunky, although I will say the entrances were great. Both these guys have great entrances, so that was nice. But yeah, they definitely could have fared better. And then the main event was Swerve Strickland versus Will Ospreay. This was great stuff. As expected from these guys. Was it?
Yeah,
as expected from these guys.
Awesome.
And it's babyface versus babyface, but they both have an edge. Swerve hasn't lost some of that zombie thug that he was last year, and Will Ospreay has a boiling point. We've seen it in multiple matches where he wants to hit the Tiger Driver, which in the MJF match, the insinuation is if he'd hit it, he would have won the match, and ended up losing with 2 seconds to spare. I like what they're doing with Will here, where they're giving him purposeful losses that aren't damaging him. They're actually telling a really good story with the fact that he was able to win matches when he was a heel because he had an extra level of violence. But now that he's trying to tame down his style, because he has, you know, compassion for wrestlers and their lives and careers and families, it makes him less able to capitalize in the big matches. It's fascinating. I really like it a lot.
Yeah, it's very cool. Very cool as a sort of overall beat for him for the next like year or so until he gets that moment where he has to hit it.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's very cool stuff.
Do you think maybe, it's a long way away, but do you think maybe they wait for Wembley 3 to crown Ospreay?
Probably. Yeah, I think so. Because at the moment, that's not the plan. And that the story behind this match, actually, behind the scenes, is quite interesting with him wanting to have this match now so he can put Swerve over. So there's no doubt.
Oh, yeah.
I love them having a match at Wembley.
I love how Will Ospreay has become like the anti-Hulk Hogan in AEW.
Yeah, it's almost if you should, you know, think about the business.
Yeah. But like, I love the fact that Will pays attention to what fans are saying and he tries to like subvert them.
Yeah, he's in that regard, he's switched on.
Yeah. And that's, I think, why he had such great chemistry with MJF, because both of them are very switched on.
Yes, definitely.
Yeah. So yeah, overall, I thought Forbidden Door was a really good show, but it did have a few cracks. But the highlights were really good, and I'm actually very optimistic about. I mean, I'm not watching it every week, but I'm optimistic about some of the things that AEW are doing at the moment.
I'm not really watching at all. Bar a couple things. Like you told me to watch like the MGF Ospreay match, and I watched the 20 minutes of it because I just didn't have time to watch it all. But it was very cool stuff. Yeah,
MJF
at the moment is very sparse.
MJF got beaten up by a 7-year-old girl. That was hilarious.
That was quite funny. Definitely quite funny.
It's also, I think I feel very privileged because I watched that match as it was happening live. I actually caught it when it happened. I was very lucky because I had a day off work and I just sort of wanted something to do, and it was on, and I was like, look, this is MJF and Ospreay is a match I've wanted to see for years, and it lived up to every expectation I had. It was beautiful.
Yeah, definitely would say so that it did.
Yes. And in terms of the predictions, I won by 2 points. I got 15, you got 13. Which meant that for Money in the Bank, I challenged Regan for the belt, which we will get to when we review that, which will be immediately after this stream. Any final thoughts on Forbidden Door?
Yeah, just a really, really good show. I think not without a couple matches that I felt quite disappointed by. I think specifically the Moxley match, for the match and the result, really, I just feel it was a massively missed opportunity. I'm not a businessman at all, but I feel like it's such a great opportunity to have that belt be defended and won by someone in New Japan at Wembley. I just feel like that's a massively missed opportunity. But hey, if that's what they want to do, that's what they want to do. I really enjoyed the show, even with a couple of its flaws.
Yeah. All right. Well, I bid you adieu, a good night, and I see you in a few minutes. Bang.
Bang.
Wow. Half an